Yeah, boy. There is a specific, or two specific articles I'm trying to find about Helldivers too, but I mean, I just can't find them, so I'm just gonna talk candidly about Helldivers. My first experience with Helldivers was atrocious. Like, I one I could barely get on the servers when to begin with, and I actually wanted to refund the game. I tried, and they said no because I played for too long, which whatever. But then that got resolved because the thing is, it wouldn't give me my in-game rewards after I beat the game until I exited the game, then re-entered. Then when I did that, again, I had to fight to even get on the damn servers every time. But they resolved that lickety split. Then for some reason I couldn't join anybody. I could only play by myself, which was trash. Which I did sometimes. I mean, it was alright, but the point is to play with a squad, and I think that's where the fun comes from. And whatever. But then for some reason, I made a video about this. I couldn't play with one of my friends at all. Like, when I would enter the party, it would kick him. And then when he entered the party, it'd kick me. And before that, we just could not squeeze up together. Like, I can play with one of my friends, like, on who play on PlayStation, right? And his friend who's also on PlayStation. And I can play with the person I played with on PC, but it is specifically that person I cannot play with. Because, see, I guess we're just too damn strong. Like, our power levels are too damn high. Like, they see us and they're like, we can't sustain the combined mass of them two persons partner. Well, hopefully that gets fixed because it's fucking annoying. But past all that, I enjoy the game. Despite all that, it's a good game. Now, one of the articles I was looking for was they are blocking people for demanding LGBT representation. And I think, unfortunately, this is a good move on their part. Because believe it or not, the LGBTQA, whatever the hell it is now, is politicized, heavily politicized, and they took a strictly no politics like rule on their game. It's just hell yeah, kill bugs and robot bitches and hell yeah. And it's unfortunate, like these things shouldn't be politicized, but they are. And because they are, I mean, again, it's one of those games where the best way to win is to just not play. So anyone who demands it or asks for it just gets blocked. Again, what you need to do to have LGBT representation in your game is to make it as cheap as possible, as accessible as possible, in as many languages as possible, as fun as possible. And this is a fun game. Like, I believe they have 300,000 concurrent players, right? And it's a fun game. Like, the LGBT, like, you don't need representation in a game that's this fun. And again, unfortunately, the people who asked for it, I mean, I don't believe they're all malicious, but there are people who actively rides ideology just to uplift themselves and to spread the venom and their hate to everybody else. And I think this does irreparable damage to the movement itself, even more than the homophobes, because at least the homophobes will straight up be homophobic and tell you, or the people who are genuinely homophobic and not people who play, well, I'm thinking of something completely different. Not people who well, I guess this makes sense because it's LGBT, and not people who just play Hogwarts Legacy, right? But that's for the whole transphobic thing. But that's what I mean, right? Yeah, I'm talking to people who are like genuinely homophobic and will come to your face and be that way. Not people that you just thrust the label on. But again, and this is just a fun game, and they just want politics out, and I believe that's a good move because you rarely get games that are this popular, and when you do, they're almost universally attacked on all sides by like parasites. Like it happened with the Coffin of Andy and Lele, and it happened with Power World, and it happened with Hogwarts Legacy, right? Like you get just games that have legitimately good mechanics, good story, accessible, cheap, and they get universally attacked by mainstream media. But then you have games that are shat out like Suicide Squad, but no one, like, again, they're defended by mainstream outlets and by ideologues who don't actually play the game. They just see that Sweet Baby has consulted, and it's like they're constrained, right? They're either forced to defend it just to get a standing ovation, or they legitimately believe that this is what they want, and they're just being disingenuous. And that takes me to the other article I'm looking for. It's an article about how like journalists are saying, oh, this game's about fascism and fascismo fascisms. And well, one, you're 100% correct, and two, it's okay because there are games where you play the bad guy and it's fun. Like God of War, for the 1, 2, and 3, or like Overlord, or like Sacrifice. Like in these games, you play the bad guy, or like I think World of Warcraft, the one with Arthas. And yeah, again, there are games where you play the bad guy and they're fun, and that's okay. I mean, it's fiction. Just because people enjoy playing the bad guy in fiction doesn't mean they want to emulate the bad guy in reality. Again, it's the whole fiction versus reality idea that people fail to understand. And again, grown ass adults fail to understand this. Or they're being disingenuous. Like they're doing this thing where, oh, here thing is popular, therefore we must remain relevant and attack popular thing and what the market wants. Again, sometimes it's fun to just play. And again, I don't know. The story is whatever. It's a caricature. Again, there are legitimate issues with the game, right? And bug fixes and all of that. But again, it's people, the market enjoy it. People universally enjoy it. And I think that's just how it should be. Just a game should just be fun to play. It should be a game for gamers. This is the Helldivers 1. See, I never played all through Helldivers 1 because Helldivers 1 was marketed like Helldivers 2 as like a first person shooter, but it wasn't that. It was a top down uh stick shooter, I think. Like the what Anvil is. And I don't know, that's sort of grated on my psyche. I was like, well, kind of expecting something like Halo and Call of Duty, so I refunded the game. And again, I was playing many like games of that nature that were just better. But I don't know. I'm definitely loving Helldivers 2, right? And I also heard that it might come out for Xbox. Like I heard the Xbox CEO being like, well, it's sad that it didn't come out on Xbox, but I completely understand. And the CEO of Xbox is a legitimate champ. Like, he's like, yeah, we've really dropped the ball in the console war. Like, we stopped being a gaming console for gamers and just started being an entertainment console. So, in other words, they believed my mother was going to buy an Xbox to watch Netflix. And again, it's this idea of the wider audience that's like this mythical unicorn because it doesn't exist. It only exists in fantasy. in people's imagination, so they think they need to chase it. But I mean, anyway, that's oh yeah, and they really need to buff the laser cannon because that shit is trash. Though it looks cool, it's that shit trash. And I mean, that's all I gotta say for that. See ya.